regarding airdrops and OTC stuff in particular, there's a lot of these private Discords and Telegram groups and all of that where you either need to have a certain size to play or you need to know the right people. And I think that regarding that ethos around crypto, I don't think that really fits it very well. I mean, markets are free, they're open, people will trade within them as they wish to, but I think that it is good that we now have this product that kind of makes it all more open, more accessible to where everybody has access to it and it's not just this kind of small group of people.
Welcome to the Edge Podcast. I'm DeFi Dad here with Nomadic from 4RC. Today's show spotlights Whales Market, the top OTC DEX for trading airdrop allocations, points, and tokens. In this episode, we dive into how Whales Market works and how it found such amazing product market fit this bull run. But before we do, just a quick word from our sponsors who make the Edge Podcast possible. Introducing Flat Money, the first decentralized, delta-neutral FLATCOIN built on Base with sustainable yield that's completely untethered from legacy finance. Because DeFi needs an uncensorable based unit of currency. You can mint unit with RETH, which is held in the protocol's shared liquidity pool, where it's borrowed by leveraged traders. As a leveraged trader, you can deposit your margin collateral and go long on RETH. If you're trading in the perpetual futures market, you'll pay unit holders to open leverage positions. If you're holding unit, you'll earn yield from liquidations, borrow rate, and trading fees. Preserve your purchasing power and offset your exposure to crypto market volatility. Learn more at flat.money.
Restaking summer is dawning, and SWELL is expanding. Harnessing the power of RSWETH, SWELL is building the Layer 2 for liquid restaking. That means native restaking yield on a chain built with Polygon's ZK EVM technology in collaboration with AltLayer, Chainlink, and EigenDA. Look out for SWELL's Layer 2 in Swell City.
Introducing the MANTLE Liquid Staking Protocol, MANTLE LSP, a permissionless, non-custodial ETH liquid staking protocol deployed on Ethereum L1 and governed by MANTLE. With MANTLE LSP, users can stake ETH to instantly receive METH, earn yield and accumulate rewards the longer you stake. METH is the value accumulating receipt token that will give you access to expanded yield opportunities. Stake and watch your yield grow with MANTLE LSP.
Unlock liquid restaking and get exclusive rewards on KELP's road to 1 billion TVL. Restake Steph, ETHX, and native ETH for the liquid restaking token RSWETH. Get exclusive rewards on top of regular rewards with KELP miles and EigenLayer points. Use RSWETH to earn with over 25 DeFi partners across 9 L2s. Learn more at kelpdao.xyz/restake.
It all started so simply with CryptoKitties and Maker on Ethereum, but quickly became complex with more applications and many chains. Today, everyone agrees UX issues are the biggest blocker standing in the way of crypto adoption. Introducing Avocado. Multi-chain UX redesigned from the ground up. The first wallet to abstract networks, accounts, and gas. One gas tank to pay transaction fees on all chains in USDC. And native access to INSTADAPP's powerful, custom DeFi strategies. Avocado, one wallet to rule all chains.
All right, let's introduce William Murphy, Head of Growth at Whales Market. William, welcome to the Edge Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about the product.
So it's great to connect because I have personally used Whales Market to be able to trade some points, and then I've contemplated trading some airdrop allocations, but I feel like Whales Market just had some impeccable timing with the bull run and the hype around being able to earn points for all of these pre-token launches. And so we're going to talk today all about how this, I'm going to try to dumb this down and summarize that I would describe Whales Market as a peer-to-peer, trustless OTC DEX for trading airdrop allocations, points, and tokens. And so we're going to try to break down just what are all of the benefits of that. There's a reason that there's been $70 million in trading volume. There's a reason that there's been, I think, around 25,000 plus users across like 10 different chains you guys support. So that all being said, William, do you want to kick off with a little bit more about just the background of Whales Market? I don't know if you can share a bit about like the origin story and maybe what led into this like killer product market fit.
Yeah, totally. Well, first off, thank you for all the kind words. And then, yeah, I can give you a little bit of background there. So the Whales Market team originally built LootBot. And LootBot, if you're familiar, I can speak to a little bit, was kind of a Telegram bot for airdrop farming. So the team was already pretty familiar with just kind of the space around airdrops in the crypto space. They had already built a product. They already had kind of a following behind that product as well. So kind of the next obvious step as far as vertical integration was to then create like a marketplace for people to trade these allocations. So Whales Market was created. And again, speaking to that kind of like knowledge around like airdrops and all of that, we were familiar with all the upcoming airdrops that people would want to trade and everything, and kind of already had some existing deal flow from teams reaching out as well. So that helped out a lot. And yeah, I guess that's kind of the background in a nutshell there.
William, maybe just like give us your kind of interpretation of what you think Whales Market is. Like, I'd love to kind of hear your perspective and your elevator pitch on how you view it. I know how DeFi Dad and I think of it, but obviously want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, so essentially it's a permissionless DEX for people to trade illiquid assets in crypto. We are trying to make the DEX that people can make all the liquid assets liquid. And I personally, the reason I joined the team was I feel like there's this ethos in crypto around accessibility and decentralization and everything being open. I think regarding airdrops and OTC stuff in particular, there's a lot of these private Discords and Telegram groups and all of that where you either need to have a certain size to play or you need to know the right people. And I think that regarding that ethos around crypto, I don't think that really fits it very well. I mean, markets are free, they're open, people will trade within them as they wish to, but I think that it is good that we now have this product that kind of makes it all more open, more accessible to where everybody has access to it and it's not just this kind of small group of people. So that was the reason that I was really drawn to the product. There's of course all these other things popping up now as far as like new product features that we're looking to add and everything. But yeah, I guess that's both my elevator pitch and then also why I personally like the product a lot.
William, maybe we can start to talk about like how this actually works. So we'll try to weave in some screenshots here if folks watch this on YouTube in the future. But if you're listening, there's a few different like markets or major features here to Whales Market. So we've got pre-market, OTC, and there's a thing called, I think it's called the points market. Two of the ones that have occupied the most of my attention have been around these pre-market tokens. So like I'm thinking of EigenLayer, Starknet has gone live. Since then, EtherFi has gone live, but we've still got like MarginFi, Friendtech, Camino, Hyperliquid. So these are tokens that, many of us would love to be able to buy in advance, hopefully buy it at a discount compared to where you think it's going when the token launches. And so like, how does this work? Like if I have, for example, a certain amount of airdrop allocation that I think I'm going to earn, like how can I use Whales Market to offer that to be sold to folks? Or if I'm a buyer, how can I potentially, bid to buy those tokens before they actually go live?
Yeah, certainly. So regardless of whether you're kind of filling an order, if you're putting up an order, either way, in the simplest terms possible, it's both sides put up collateral, and then using that collateral to kind of ensure that both people go through with the deal, primarily that the seller goes through with the deal, because there kind of needs to be some incentivization there. Because say in a scenario where people put up collateral or whatever, the airdrop goes up in price, the seller decides not to go through with the order or something, we have things set up in a way to where if the seller doesn't go through with the order, the full collateral is just sent to the buyer. So at worst case, on the buyer's side, they end up with kind of like doubling their money. And then if anything goes well and they fulfill the order, then the order just goes through as planned. But yeah, so there's the collateral on both sides. And then a settlement, there's a 24-hour period where you're able to settle the order. The seller sends the tokens that they received for their points allocation or for the tokens that they sold on pre-market. And then the buyer's money is transferred to the seller. The seller also receives their collateral back. And all of this is done via smart contracts as well. So that's kind of another one of the innovations here, is that originally with these OTC desks, I maybe should have spoken to this earlier, but there was some sort of centralized entity that you would just kind of have to go off of this sort of trust me bro kind of thing, where you're just trusting this guy to kind of go through the transaction. And there's obviously some risk with that. I think that's speaking to that like ethos around crypto that kind of goes against that as well, because all of this should be decentralized, all of this should be trustless if possible. So we wanted to build a solution for that.
This is all what got me so excited about Whales Market. The peer-to-peer aspect is really cool. It just brings us back to like the heart of why we're in crypto. You don't have to trust anyone. Like, we're trusting that you're putting up XYZ collateral, I'm putting up XYZ collateral, and, we're agreeing to, buy or sell. It's something that like I wouldn't gloss over. Like, I really think that that's powerful, that Whales Market offers that. And to your point, there are still OTC desks in crypto. It's a thriving business. But I would much rather trust smart contracts, battle-tested smart contracts, than have to, do the like trust me bro sort of setup there. So actually too, I guess I'm forgetting about the access point as well. Like, the ability to just connect your wallet and to have access to all these opportunities to buy or sell, like, that's another really like foundational component of, I think, why I, was drawn to DeFi and why I really love what you guys have done with Whales Market. There's tokens there like EigenLayer's a great example. I mean, EigenLayer has raised multiple rounds of, capital, and most folks don't have access to that. It's not anything evil, just they don't have access to that because they're not like professional investors and in like VCs and whatever. However, this sort of evens the playing field. And now on Whales Market, you could potentially be picking up future allocations of a token at a discount. And that's just cool. William, so I'm interested then, where are you seeing the most activity among the different like markets on Whales Market? Like, is it among the pre-market token trading? Is it points trading? Where's the most economic activity on Whales Market?
Yeah, so I was hoping to pull some data before this, and I didn't get the chance to, unfortunately. But I can kind of speak to my theories around it, and then also what I've seen anecdotally. I think that it's probably pre-market versus points, and I think that the reason for that is that with pre-market, people know exactly what they're getting. They know that they're for sure trading the token one-to-one. With points, it's kind of a little more speculative. You might think that you have some sort of edge because you really believe in a product early before other people or something like that. But with pre-market, it's generally a much more straightforward thing. It's much more transparent. And also, I think just speaking to that as well, we've seen some unbelievably hyped up pre-market launches that we've had where there's been a lot of volume in a short period of time. It's typically the way that we approach these different markets is pre-market. We like to list, about 3 to 4 days off from TGE on average. And then the points market can be a little more malleable. That can be like over the course of months. But typically the timing of these as well, like the timing of the pre-market launch is generally when like there's kind of a fever pitch on the timeline of like everybody's talking about it. We know that people are really ready for it. They want to trade the product. They want to trade the token. So yeah, I would think that it's pre-market, but I unfortunately don't have like the data right in front of me right now. So that's just kind of my anecdotal take on it.
William, something else I saw recently when just kind of checking out the app was Whales Pro. What is that? I actually haven't clicked on it yet myself. So
yeah, definitely. So I guess in simplest terms possible, you can just kind of think of it as a user experience upgrade. So the previous product was kind of this marketplace that was a little bit of an unfamiliar user experience for a lot of people. And what we have now is kind of like this like DEX sort of product that looks a little more like an order book. It's something that people might be a little more familiar with. There's charting. We fixed a couple of like user experience issues that people had encountered, things that like I had personally encountered myself when using the product. And yeah, I guess I would just kind of tell people to try it out. It's a lot more intuitive than the original product that we had. And yeah, I think there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's just kind of a better user experience in general.
That's cool. And then two other things that I see just while I'm on there is two things coming soon. It says runes, and then it says, I think this means whitelist. It says WL. Is that like some sort of like free market for whitelist where you can, I guess, sell your whitelist OTC or something? Maybe if you can kind of just explain both of those to us.
Yeah, definitely. So runes, I don't have a ton that I can speak to right now. That product, we're still a little bit out from launching, and I just don't have as much knowledge about that one, like internally. But for the NFT whitelist, that's one that I am actually really excited about in particular because I got into the space through NFTs. I don't think that we've covered this too much yet, but my background is as an artist. I originally joined the space through minting my own art, and then kind of just fell in love with crypto and everything around it after that. But yeah, so we are going to have a market for NFT whitelists, and it'll work in a similar way to how the product works right now for pre-market and points market, just kind of this OTC sort of structure with smart contracts, where you would put up collateral and you can sell a whitelist for an NFT project.
William, one thing I'm just curious about, like, is just how you're thinking through growth at Whales. Like, how are you continuing to grow, and like, what, if any, kind of partnerships are you kind of working on or planning?
Yeah, certainly. So this is actually my specialty, so it's a great question. So as far as internally and what we're doing with just the product, we do have a referral program, and we're trying to kind of juice that up at the moment. For Whales Pro at release, we're doing this thing where we're kind of doubling the incentives versus what they were previously. And in addition to that, we're exploring some partnerships on a few different levels. I don't know how much I can speak to certain names and everything because some of these haven't kind of been like fully inked yet. But we have some certain things where users of other products might be able to have kind of extra incentives or extra reward pools for the referrals. And in addition to that, just around the product as well. So we were just kind of speaking about the NFT whitelist part of the product that is going to be launching later this year. And we have some different integrations for that we're working on. So that's something that I've personally been kind of like taking on as a little bit of a pet project, where there's these sort of, how do I say this without saying names? I can say that these kind of like professional NFT trading marketplaces where we would like to, so either marketplaces or places where you can kind of get analytics, hear about upcoming launches and all of that. I would love to try to get the NFT whitelist market integrated into as many of those as possible, where either within the website or with something that kind of links off to our site, you can quickly see upcoming launches that are coming up, and then also be able to either trade them on Whales or trade them on the website that we're speaking to, which again, it's kind of difficult for me to do this without saying names, but I think you kind of like fill in the blanks and think about some organizations in the space that might be a good fit for that. So, and then in addition to that too, we're working on that for pre-market, we're working on that for points. I think that that's really one of the great strengths that we have is we talk with so many teams about points markets and pre-market that we have this great deal flow, and it helps out with being able to do co-marketing, with being able to figure out kind of how we can integrate with different products. And that's kind of one of the best growth mechanisms that we have.
Yeah, I love it. It all makes sense. Like those partnerships with those marketplaces, whoever they are. I'm assuming one might rhyme with fur and maybe one rhymes with Schmenzer. I don't know, just taking random guesses here. Also just curious how all of this kind of relates back to the Whales token, because there's a Whales token that's involved in all of this as well. Where does that fit in? And like, how does the team think of like, you know, I know it's kind of touchy, but like value accrual mechanisms or just like ways for the Whales token to be integrated and useful so users want to hold it?
Yeah, certainly. So the Whales token, the main utility of it is the rev share. So you can stake whales and then you get X whales. And essentially by doing so, you get to earn more whales token over time because we have a buyback program where the revenue from the platform goes back into buying back whales, and then that gets distributed amongst people that are staking. So that's kind of the main utility for the token. And there might be other things later on, but nothing that I can kind of speak to right this second.
William, I think this is a great place for us to start to wrap up. So I want to remind our listeners that they can learn more about Whales Market by going to whales.market. They should follow Whales Market on Twitter. They should follow William's Twitter account at WGM_V. And then, William, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, we're big fans of what you guys have built. I think it represents the best of the kind of permissionlessness, the trustlessness, in terms of the opportunities that we're seeking out in DeFi. It's just cool. Feels like something that we wouldn't have had access to years ago. And the fact that now we can bid on future airdrop allocations, points, and just do a standard sort of OTC token trade. It's really powerful stuff. So I want to leave you with the opportunity just to close us out. So what's next? What are you excited about that's coming in the next 6 to 12 months? Like any bit of alpha you can share.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for all the kind words, and thank you for having me here. But so I think we already kind of spoke to a couple of the different future product offerings as far as like NFT whitelist, the RENS market, and all that. But in addition, for anybody that did go check out the pro version of Whales Market, there's something on there. I think it says, I don't have the website pulled up there right this second, but I think it says something along the lines of like vesting or vested tokens. That's one thing I'm really excited about because so the pre-market and points market is already kind of like a new way and an innovative take on a way for people to get access to these pre-market markets where it's early access. It's getting access to things in a stage where you might have to be a VC or an angel investor to get access to these deals usually, and you can instead just get it on the open market from other users because of the airdrop allocations. And with the vested tokens, we're kind of taking that to the next level where we are working on a partnership with a certain company. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say the name or not, but essentially what they do is they work on smart contracts for vested tokens. And we're working on a way where ownership of those tokens would be tradable. So this is something where you might be able to, for instance, I don't know, I'm thinking of a good example here. So a VC wants to sell a portion of the tokens that they have, that they got in like a seed round or something like that, or an angel investor got, and they're done through this smart contract with this company. And you're able to purchase the ownership before they even hit the market, before this is even like a liquid token. So it's kind of just like it's kind of like a next natural evolution of what we're doing with pre-market and points market. And there's a lot to figure out there because some companies might have issues with this. There's also not everybody is using this product that we're talking about with this other company. But I think that over time, this could kind of become a standard due to users wanting it and also investors wanting it. Just because I think over time, we're trending more towards this just being more and more of an open market, more open, more accessible. And I think that's just kind of going to be the natural evolution of things. It's just that it all becomes accessible, that the market just kind of becomes as open as possible.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're a talented founder or developer, please consider reaching out to our team at fourthrevolution.capital. And for future episodes of the Edge podcast, please check out our link tree at edge_pod.